Let's hit reset. So we're here. Hello, my name is Ian. Lauren's up close. Microphones weren't on. It's been crazy times, but we're here. We would love to practice with the consistency necessary for our practice to make those health and wellness adjustments, feeling nice and strong all the time. As I said, maybe off mic, we're going to work with our small things like our feet and our hands, and those things integral to our survival and our core strength, like our breath. We'll start on the floor. If you know that your head and neck is a little bit in that extension position on the floor, I have a yoga block here. Maybe you'd like to grab one as well.
Or a pillow.
Lauren, safely, somehow, get to the floor. And again, excuse me, if your head neck is showing this shape right here, Lauren maybe can replicate that crazy extension. Maybe taking a pillow or that yoga block underneath the head can help level out that curve. From here though, we'll take the block away. Lauren will be on the ground here. Gently extend the legs if that's comfortable for you. Starting at the feet, way down here, can you pull the foot to the shin? And then can you point the foot? And then pull the foot to the shin in that dorsiflex shape. And then at the ankle, can you wave like the queen? Ins and outs and ins and outs. Take one more point. One more flex the other way. A little bit of an in.
Pardon?
A little bit of an in turn. And then an out turn. And then find center and keep them there. Now, gently dragging the heel along the floor. Slowly bring one leg at a time towards the buttock. So dragging the heel down, closing the angle between the knees. Then lightly press away. Newly installed rubber floors here are a little bit sticky, but Lauren will take that leg and extend it or straighten it out. A little bit rambunctious there, but great. Same thing on the other side. Dig down on that heel, bending the knee. Bring it in towards the body. How does the hip flexor feel? And can the hamstring take that load? Then lessen the tension underneath the foot and just nice and slow, straighten out. Repeat one more time on the other side. Slowly bending that knee. Feel that recruitment through the hamstring as you bend the knee towards its safe deep knee bend here. And then lightly extend the knee away. Slightly hovering on the floor if your floor is sticky like ours here. By sticky, I mean tacky. Then one more time, bring in, trying to keep those toes nice and calm too. And then lightly extend through the knee. The leg gets straight. Then if we went all the way up into the hip, we would do those rotations. So from the hip, let the leg fall out, keeping the knee nice and straight, and then roll it back in. And then roll it out, and then roll it back in. Do the same thing on the other side. So again, from laying down, we're taking that inseam and turning it towards the sky, and then taking the inseam and hiding it, or that internal rotation on the hip. From laying down, take the original leg and cross it at the knee, like our figure 4. Now, same thing at the hip. Could you try to open the door towards the floor here, and then close the door as the knee comes across the body. Nice and slow, keep the ankle heavy as you open the knee towards the ground, and then again across the body. Repeat one more repetition and be aware of the core stability, that the hips stay level and the mobility is being expressed from the hip. Close one more time, unhook that foot to the ground, lightly extend it at the knee, and then switch to the other side. So from standing, it would be that figure 4 shape here, and we're pulling the knee to our center line. Then open the knee away, making sure that the hips and the core doesn't change its shape. For 2 more or so, again, pull to the midline, then open up to the side. Final repetition, a little in, a little out, then one more time back in, And then extend at the hip and the knee, straightening the knees and legs. Perfect. Now maybe bend the knees a little bit for this next series as we get into the upper back now. With the knees bent, at the low back hips, could we little bit of an arch in that low back shape, and then recruit those abs on the front and the buttocks in the back to then tuck down. Couple more in a row as we flare the ribs a little bit, opening up that space underneath the low back. I'm going to play peekaboo under there. Hello, there we are. And then Lauren will lightly press into the floor, engaging the abs on the front, and then scooping the hips under. Doing a wonderful job maintaining the neutral head neck, and that the low back here isn't tied to the head neck in extension. One more repetition as Lauren slowly goes into the extension phase, where there's a little bit of space again between the floor and her back, and then that tucked under shape using the abs on the front and the glutes on the back. Return to a natural or normal shape there, which might be just a little bit of space between the low back and the floor. With the hands in that W shape as Lauren's showing, or at our sides, can we take the upper parts of our rib cage now and just do a little bit of a side bend? Keep the head on the floor as allowed.
Okay, I can't.
Little bit of a side bend. Side bend. Now take a hand towards the ceiling, single hand towards the ceiling, and now just try a little bit of a rotation. So as Lauren's going to try to reach and rotate towards my hand, and then return to the floor. Same thing on the other side, reach and roll, maybe 2 or 3 each side again here, reach and roll, and reach and roll. Excellent. For one more time on the floor here, let's place one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. Take 2 chest breaths in and out of the nose, and you may have felt that low back space open up underneath. Exhale. Repeat, inhale through the nose, and feel that chest flare. For this part of the drill, that's okay. But now for the successive breaths, chest stays calm, and fill the belly. Inhale through the nose, filling the belly, and then exhale. Keep the chest calm, inhale to the belly, exhale. One more like that, breath in, and exhale. Now let's take 5 quick breaths the same way. 1, that's 2, 3, 4, one more. Now breath in, and just hold for 10. Feel the pulse, relax the fingertips, relax the toe tips, and for 3 more seconds, slowly exhale. Have you been practicing your breath holds at home? The last time we did this in our practice, Lauren struggled to get 30 seconds. I wonder what she'll get the next time we practice that. Practice the breath to help you sleep, stay strong, and because it's important to breathe. So we've had our supine check-in, ankles, knees, hips, getting that going. From here, let's stand up. Anyhow you want, no rules. Assist with a partner, come on the stand. Using the balance aid to the side, yeah, Lauren over there. Using the balance aid to the side, check in on those hips again. This time, great. This time, keeping the knee straight or the quads parallel, bend the outside leg. In this case, I'll do my left, and Lauren's the one closest to you. Hold it out to the side for a quick second. Did your hip stay level? Did your knee stay bent? Now pull that leg into the body, touching quads or femur bones there. Now pull the knee forward, bring the foot towards the knee, and that knee might line up to the lateral aspect of the standing leg. From here, open to the side, extend the leg down, stiffen the leg, and rotate it in. Keeping the knee in the same position again. Let's bend the outside leg, stabilizing at the knee. Then we'll open up to the side for a second. Say hello out there. Then pull in. Pull the foot towards the knee. And then out to the side. And then gently extend the leg down. We're going to do that one more time here. From tall, in. Bend the knee at the side. Then that abduction, move the knee away from the body, holding your orange at the side. Now from here, pull into the body and pulling up on this other side. Now keep pulling and we'll flex the hip that the foot gets towards the inside of the knee. Then from there, we'll open up that leg to the side again in the 4 shape. And then straighten the knee. Nice and slow, tall on the supporting leg. And then internally rotating to finish. We go right out a little bit. Do the same thing on the other side. Again, from tall, we'll bend the outside knee. At that point, lift out to the side. Think of this adduction tension as we're pulling in, creating tension on this hip. Flexing the hip forward, bring the foot towards the balanced knee. Again, that knee might be lined up towards the outside of this hip. Then, open towards the side, keep those hips forward, and then flex the ankle, extending the knee and the hip to go down, tall on the other leg. Roll in. Knee bend. Out to the side a little bit, and again, highlight this adduction tension as we pull into the body. Then flexing the hip, the knee gets towards that ankle of the standing leg. Then open up the knee towards the side. Are those hips still level? I know I'm fighting for that too. Then extend through the knee as we grow taller on the standing leg. Full extension, rotate in, and then relax. That's 3. We're going to try the same thing going the other way. So extension, meaning the back first, then to the side, and then down. Nice partial hip bars today, just to feel all phases. From standing, using your balance aid as you need, bend the outside leg, or a single knee if you are facing a bar like Lauren. Extension of the hip, reaching towards the back. Then bring the bottom of the foot towards the inside of that standing or supporting leg. And then at that point, extend through the knee to straighten. And then that internal rotation, pulling into the body. Repeat. Knee bend to the back. Then hip extend is reaching out of that hip. The knee goes out towards the side or lateral. The foot stays underneath the hip. And then gently extend the leg down, tall on the supporting leg, internal rotation in. 3 repetitions, one more time on this side. Bend the knee. Extend through the hip to the back. Keep that deep knee bend as allowed. Pulling the foot underneath the hip, knee wide, and then extend through the knee, tall on the other side, and internally rotate on the hip. It took me 5 years probably to feel that tall cue on the other side. When I was doing this earlier with clients in studio, what I found was people going here to here to here to here to the side and extending out there. And that's okay. Ideally, we're trying to extend that leg underneath of the hip, getting taller on this side to help us do that. We have one more side go. Shake it out. Stabilize on the one side, mobilize on the other. So from standing, get that sip of water, tastes so good. Stable knees, so the knees don't come forward as you bend. So bend the outside leg at the knee. Extending the hip, which takes the foot underneath the hips. Stay tight to the body. As the knee's facing lateral, extend the knee, tall on the other side now, and then that internal rotation in. 2 more. Knee bend. Reaching hip extensions back. I'm overdoing it, but the sole of my foot should be lined up with the back side of my leg here. And then we bring it around, keeping the foot underneath of the hip, and then tall on the supporting leg to make room for that extension down. Rotate in. Final repetition. Knee bend, hip extend, bring the foot underneath of the hip, keep it tight to the body, and then once it's there at the side, tall on the supporting leg as the other leg presses down, rotate in, and that's a big set of reps. For one more, kind of a white lie there, let's do it with a straight leg, once from the front side back, back side front, switch legs, moving on. Grab onto that balance aid. Start by dorsiflexing the ankle. Can you create room to be strong from the get-go as we take that leg, cross our body out front, external rotation in the hip as that leg gets towards the side then. From here, we'll internally rotate on the hip, turning the inseam down out the back, hugging that center line, beautiful tall posture, Lauren, and then pull the foot under, making room on the other leg. Repeat to the back. Extension towards the back. I'm trying to hide my leg out the back for a second. Then it makes its appearance as I slide to the outside, stiffening through the kneecap, working the leg in front, and now think your butt cheek driving that leg back. Promised only one. I'm going to stay true to that. I'm going to do that one more time on the other side. Those little wiggles in between can feel really nice. So, dorsiflex on the ankle first. Then from the hip in the front, pull out there. Then our nice slow external rotation to bring that leg towards the side. And I need to stiffen the kneecap personally to really help me navigate that corner. And we bring it around to the back, straighten the knee. I'm hearing that, feeling that too. And then pull from the hip flexor underneath. Now it's a butt cheek body part. Back of the body helps us to get that hip extension. And then that external rotation in the hip. Keep the knee nice and stiff as we pull that around towards the front. And now it's the butt cheek pulling the leg back. And shake that out. Lauren's not wearing a mic, so I'm doing a lot of the talking today. Need to stay on the camera too. From there in the hips, we're going to kind of coordinate all those patterns again. One of Lauren's favorite movements, those Jane fondues. So get the balance aid as you need. Start with your feet in parallel. And from here, thinking about hips staying over top of the ankles as our knees go towards forward. Get low for a second. Awesome posture, Lauren. From here, stand up tall. Did you use your knees or your bum? Both is the right answer. Really think driving those hips forward. Let's do that again. Knees over toes. When you stand up, think pushing your hips forward. Now, try our first 2-foot balance for the day. Growing up nice and tall. And again, here is your rib cage connected to the hips. Are your ankles pulled together? And for 2 more seconds, stay up there. And now straight legs and pull the heels down by pressing through the balls of the feet. Nice and slow down. One more repetition of that. Nice basics. Get knees over toes here to start, sorry. Good. Maybe feel one leg more than the other. Put some weight into that feel. Share the load. Now use your butt cheeks to extend to tall. Press down to go up. Woo. Rib cage connected to hips. Hands at the side like Lauren on those hip holsters like me. And then drive the toes down to pull the heels down with stiff knees. And then shake. Those 2-footed Janes, love them. Love those single leg Janes too. So for one more set of repetitions here, let's pull a single leg up to that coup de pied or ankle position. And from here, knee over toe. Stand up. Not to an incredible height, but could you find a little toe balance there? Maybe you have to use that outrigger I am on my foot here, or that balance aid, but low and humble places are probably challenging too. Let's place that heel down and do one more time on that leg. Very slow, nice plie action here, knee over toe, like going down a stair. Then stand up tall, and then where do you own on that balance? And today, I'm not as high as usual, and that's okay. Make it hard for today, and then down with control. Again, I love those reset shaked reps, so shake it out. We'll do the same thing for 2 on the other side. Root that foot. Yeah, use the bar. The bar. Use the bar by. I know, I get that too. Coup de pied position, or that ankle nub on the middle. Super casual, pull down. Hold for a 1/1000. Stand up tall, extending the hips, and then find the toe balance. It doesn't need to be high. Where do you own for like a second longer, and then slow down. And for the final repetition on this side, we'll go knee over toe, hold the balance, extend the hip, and transfer weight to those toesies on the bottom to find your nice tall rise. For 3, 2, slow down, and then shake it out. I like our movement clocks. We'll hopefully work on those movement clock progressions near the end again. First, get your space out, set up your 12s, your 10s, 2s, 9s, 3s, 4s, and 8s, and ultimately those 6 o'clock timelines here. And let's get going. Nice little mobility warm up here. At first, the leg that stays in the center, super stiff, heel heavy. The leg that moves, toe ball heel on that absorption of the floor, and then push away, returning to center. Same leg, same leg, same leg, and then we'll switch. So here I have my left leg in center. I'm going to peel off the floor, heel, ball, toe, and then toe, ball, heel as I land. Keeping the back leg heavy, maybe pushing the front knee towards over the toe, but staying beautifully upright just like my friend Lauren here. Now push forward to go back. Then a 1/8 of a turn, or to 2 o'clock, same thing. Toe ball heel. Encourage the knee to go towards over the toe. Hips forward, knee on an angle, and then push center. A lateral facing foot, toe ball heel, keeping those hips level, again encouraging the knee over the toe, and then push to center. Tougher one here, take your time as we pivot on that standing leg and try to find our new corner. Toe ball heel, stiff leg in center, bent leg on the landing, push to center. Now, just like in the warm-up, no knees forward, we'll go knee bend, hip extend, and where does that reach? From there, toe ball heel, and try to bend that back knee. Ooh, and that's too far. You can see that. I personally need to be probably right about there based on the heel commitment. Nice longer. Then push to center. Same thing on the other side. Stiff leg stays stiff and heavy through the heel. Pick up the foot, heel, ball, toe, land, toe, ball, heel. Push the knee towards over the toe. Maybe that's a calf stretch in the back. And then push forward to go back. 1/8 of a turn, my left leg towards 10 o'clock. Toe ball heel, heavy leg over here, knee bent over here, and then push to center. Same thing out to the side. Toe ball heel. Doesn't need to be a big stride. Let's keep those hips level and forward, and then push, return center. And then taking your time, opening up on that rotation. And is it the hip doing it, or the head, or the shoulder? Feel it over time, and then push to the corner to return center. And then again, keeping the knee stable, bend, extend, tap down, ball, toe, toe ball, heel. And again, keeping the heel heavy, legs straight. 3, 2, push off the back leg, and come forward. I'd like to use our hinge for a couple times, and then we'll get to the floor for our sets of push-ups. Open your stance just a little bit wider. Take those hands, and we're chopping, and I'm trying to reach my bum back towards that ballet bar. How does your hinge feel today? Take a second longer, and then stand up tall.
Oh, sorry. I'm a little low.
Same thing. Let's chop those hips. We're keeping our spine extended as our hips go back to stay above our knees and keeping the shoulders over top of the shins as well. There's a limit to that, so either tipping forward or addressing any other way. Let's get down to the floor, and let's work on our push-ups today. Single push-up, just one, but we might do it a couple times. The breath, the control. Let's pull ourselves to our bottom range, and press. Let's do it again. Taking your time. Are your hips higher than they thought they'd ever be in phys ed? And press. Maybe let's go 3 more. I'm modified from my knees, really focusing on that head position. Nice and control to press. And we'll do one more time for up to 5 here. And press. From here, let's get to our backside and pattern our favorite way to get up in our get up. For that, I'll have my right hand across my chest. My left hand is placed at about the belt line extended on the left side. Then with the bent knee, I'll push through the floor, pull on the floor to the elbow, and then press to my tall sit. Pushing through the foot, watching that I don't smoke my head on the bar, sweeping ourselves through. Then pull the hand up the leg, extending the hips, squaring in our lunge, and then pushing the floor away to come back up. Drink, Lauren. Have a second. Lauren, how's it going? I'd like to revisit the movement clock, but now the leg that stays centered is going to do the bending, and the other one is going to do the reaching. Ready to go? Okay. Let's do it.
Let's.
Standing on my left leg first. You choose yours. The knee bends forward, contributing to the leg going the other way. If your leg's out front, think about pulling yourself back. Leg out front, pull yourself back, and then the standing leg, being the left, did the work to bring it back. 1/4 of a turn, same thing towards 2 o'clock on the clock face. Keeping the hips going back to make sure that this leg is supported, and then nice and tall. Sideways, same thing. Reaching to the side, sending energy wide to help stabilize through these hips, and then extend. Same thing, back corner, except our hips face forward, so we're reaching to that 4 o'clock position, keeping the hip forward, and then to tall. It won't be that big, but behind you, same thing. Think initiating through the standing leg knee bend, going towards over the toe, and then straight up. Whew. My turf toe was catching, my handstand toe was catching on the bottom there. Need to maybe take a pumice stone to that. Okay, too much information. Same thing on the other side. Knee bends, contributing to the other leg going out front. And if it's out front, think going back to help support it. And then extend through the leg. 1/8 of a turn, or to 10 o'clock, same thing. Reach opposite directions to stay nice and strong. And extend through. Lateral facing foot, forward facing hips as we reach towards 9s and 3s. And to stand up tall. Forward facing hips, reaching that leg towards 8 o'clock, or the corners on our clock, to stand up tall. And then last one again behind. Knee towards over toe. Nice upright posture as Lauren's showing there. And then extend through the standing leg. The wiggles, keep your wiggles going. Get your space, and we're going back to the ground for push-ups. Personally, I found that nice. I did my modified push-ups. I got my number, so I'm going to add a little bit more of a challenge by extending one leg. Follow me for a little progression, or just rep them out like Lauren there. But let's set up our hinge first.
Sorry?
Hinging, take a moment in the hinge and check in. Are your shins vertical, shoulders packed, feeling a low tension stretch through the hamstring? Then push your feet into the ground and stand up. Reset. One more time, and then we'll get down to the floor. So hinge, push your feet out for that stability and tension, vertical shins, shoulders packed, and then either accommodate with a squatting action or a tipping forward to get to your push-up. To make it a little harder, I'm going to keep one of my legs in a modified position and then straighten out the other like the real thing with Lauren. From here, that adds a little bit more work for me. It is a nice hybrid between the fully modified and then Lauren's full standard push-up. I'm going to do 2 per side. That's my second one. Then I'll switch those legs, extend the other, and do the same thing. To press, and then one more to keep it even.
Pushes are hard, Ian.
And yeah, nice. And then let's get up through our get up. I need to switch sides. So I'm going to take my left hand across my chest. My right hand is at that belt line extended. Pushing through the bent knee, pulling on the arm. Then tall sitting. Pushing through the foot, loading up over the stacked arm, sweep, and then slide. Slide and square, and then push away to come up. Like that. We're going to do one more movement clock. Just bringing it back to the original. Bring it back to that original one to start. So, nice and tall, keeping those hips through. All good?
You guys want to make sure you're good.
Yeah, making sure our batteries are good here. Okay, so we have our hips forward. Again, heel, ball, toe on a pickup, toe, ball, heel on that landing, and then push. Okay, let's start that all over again. We'll go same, and then switching legs for the final time. Stable leg, toe, ball, heel on the pickup.
Heel.
Toe, ball, heel on the landing. Thank you, Lauren. And keep the heavy heel in the back, upright posture, encourage the knee to go towards over the toe. Then push forward to go back. Quarter turn, toe, ball, heel, hips forward, knee over toe, and then push center. Same thing lateral, good. Same thing lateral, toe, ball, heel, level hips, knees over toes, push away, return center. Return to the rotation so your shoulders can turn to face a new corner. And then toe, ball, heel, push away to return center. And I needed to make mine a little smaller, but we'll go knee bend, hip extend. Where does that toe land? There, that's a better position for me. And then load up off the bent leg to push forward. Same thing on the other side. Toe, ball, heel, heel, ball, toe on the lift off, and then toe, ball, heel on that landing. Push forward to return center. Eighth of a turn, toe, ball, heel on the landing, leveling hips, pushing, returning. Pick up, toe, ball, heel on the landing, forward facing hips, nice and level, cramp up the standing leg, and push to receive. Then the rotation, be patient, make it small, make it hard, and then toe, ball, heel on the landing, push away to center, and then bend the knee, extend the hip, toe, ball, heel on the landing to the back, upper body tall, load up, and then push off the back to come forward. 2 more repetitions of that hinge again, and then our final set of push-ups for the day. Setting up your hinge stance as if you might lift your laundry or cases of beer or armor stones, planted potters, anything you want. Set up that hip hinge. Back. Again, is our spine long? Are our shins vertical? Are your feet rooting into the floor? And the shoulders are stacked over top of the ankles. From here, extend the hips to tall. Repeat one more time with our hinge or chop. The hips go back, shins stay vertical. Then make some new rules. I'm going to get my squat. Lauren's going to do her tip. And then I was happy with my modified and then my slightly less modified position. And I'm going to join Lauren here on my last 5 push-ups in our standard push-up form. Standard push-up form again, hips higher than you thought. Keep the chin tucked in. Nice and control. Low to press 1. Up for 2. And 3. And then one more time. For me at least. There's my 5. Whew. Getting back to what Lauren said earlier, maybe you heard it, maybe you didn't. Push-ups are hard. I know. Probably an exercise I don't do enough of in all honesty, but I'm really happy that we're able to integrate them here with you. Super challenging, super simple, kind of our speed for exercises. From here, let's get to our back. We'll get up through our get up again, and then we'll finish with some nice leg holds for a core. Cross a hand across the chest again, your choice. The other hand is at that belt line extended, and the bent knee that I'm showing here on my right will push through the floor, extend my hip, and pull myself to that elbow. Then, the tall sit. From here, we'll push through the foot, over top, sweep through, extend the hip, square the hip, and then push away to get tall. And then shake. We'll come back to the bars, your kitchen counters, and your chairs, and we'll finish with some nice hip holds. My favorite, least favorite exercise.
Me too.
Ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Lauren's getting that chair. Get yourself set up again with our balance aid to the side. We can do these in our open center room again here, but don't make it about the balance as much, about the core tension we can contribute to this exercise. We've been here before in that Jane Fondue exercise with our ankle down low. Keeping the knee fixed and the other hip tall through, could you extend the leg and either show Lauren's pointed foot, like I'm doing as well, or the dorsa, either or. 3, 2, and then bend back towards the ankle. Did that feel like work? That was easy-ish for me, so I'm going to lift up a little bit. But when we lift, make sure those hips stay level. Now, keeping the knee where it is, extend and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then no slingshots allowed, please. Bring that back to center. For the final repetition, we'll lift up a millimeter higher as long as we can satisfy that those hips are level.
Okay.
And then, extending through the knee, straighten the bottom leg, Lauren's saying to me off to the side here.
3.
For 3, 2, 1, bend it. Now, extend the hip that our quads are parallel, tap down the leg out the back, flex over toes, and then pull under. Keep the knee straight. I know, I try so hard to tell you, Lauren tries so hard to tell me, and it still takes a lot of work, so that's okay. Same thing on the other side. Balance aids as you need. Pull the foot to that low position, hug those legs center, and then extend on the knee and hold for 5, 4, 3, as your other hip forward, bend the knee, returning to the ankle. Then lift up a little higher as allowed, keep the hips nice and level, and then extend on the knee, keeping it in the same position, cramping that standing leg through. Bend the knee with control, returning to retire or similar. From here for the final one, maybe lift up higher, and then extend, and the standing leg is pushing forward. This leg is pulling in. Bend it with control. Let's extend the hip to have quads parallel. Then tap the floor out the back, flex over toes with a stiff leg that Lauren cued me to, and pull underneath. Shake it out. For the final movement of today, I'd like to do the very same thing to the side. So, original leg, elevate to the low. Then open that leg to face the side. The side can be anywhere between 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. And 3, it doesn't have to be the side to be a good drill for us here. From here, keep the knee in the same position and extend and hold for 3, 2, slow pull in. Could it go higher? Keeping that toe pointed, knee in the same position, and look to extend for 5, 4, 3, slow bend. Maybe that's where we stay, or for one more repetition, create a little bit more room, keep the tension in the foot, and keep those hips going forward for 3 more seconds. 2, 1, slow in. Now this time we'll pull the knee center, we'll extend the hip that the quads are parallel, straighten the leg out the back, and then flex over those toes as allowed by the floor to come underneath. Same thing final time on the other side. Coup de pied position or the ankle, and then keep the hips forward to have a lateral facing knee. Keep the knee in the same position, and then extend and hold for 4, 3, 2, slow bend in. Perhaps higher, flex the hip towards the knee, keep the hips level, keep the hips extended forward, and hold for 4, 3, 2, slow on the in. And for a final repetition, same height or just slightly higher, nice and controlled, extension through the knee, and hold 5, 4, 3, 2, slow in, pull center, extend the hip to parallel quad, straighten the knee out the back, flex over toes to pull under. Wiggle that around, shake that out, and take your time to recover. Whew, is right. And you also need a sip of water. Thank you very much for joining us today at this Restore and Recharge practice. My hips feel hellowed, my core feels ready to go, and I am looking forward to maybe a ginger tea or something to help the restorative process on a Wednesday. We're live here on Wednesdays for this month, but there might be some small changes. Restore and Recharge is our staple program, and it's not going anywhere, but there might be a small modification coming in the next month where we can start to diversify our training and start working on some more kettlebell skills. You don't need a kettlebell to join that practice, but we'll focus more on our hinges, more on those rows, and more of those maybe classic strength skills for everyone. Again, you don't need a kettlebell, but maybe look around your house and look for an old dumbbell. 5 or 10 pounds, doesn't have to be heavy. A basketball, a ball. Come up with something spherical, and then something with some weight going forward. Rolling pins could work just as fine. Stay tuned for more updates with our new schedule coming out soon. And
Like October.
stay strong. October, I know, but it's like a week away. Holy. So we'll be here on Friday at the usual time, 9 a.m., and for next week as well. But stay tuned to those updates.
So read your emails, basically.
Read your emails.
Great.
Read your emails. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
We'll see you soon.
And remember to play anytime. Goodbye.